Welcome back, everybody. My name is Grace, or Gibby, whatever you prefer. And today I'm going to do what I hope is a pretty interesting video. I'm going to be analyzing character pages from players who are not yet level 150 and seeing if they're newbie, if they follow meta strats, what type of gear they use, what type of stats they run. And I just think it might be interesting to see if most of the casual player base is meta-oriented or not meta-oriented, if they follow guides or not, and if I'll be able to tell from their character pages. But before we do that, I'm going to be judging people's character pages, and I just wanted to make sure that nobody's insulted by my judgments. So I'm taking a look at my character page first. Strength, Endurance, Charisma, Luck, weird, but whatever. Why is someone who's playing a warrior a vampire? Why do they have Shark Saber, Rainbow Raregun, Winds of Change Tome in the same inventory and only have strength? What's this armor layout, invisibility cloak, berserker hides? Like, as you can see, I have some random gear, and as do many people. If someone has random gear and I question them, judge that, it's not an insult, not a dig or anything. I'm asking questions and theory crafting about what people might be doing or might not be doing. So without being said, hope nobody takes offense from this, but we're looking at Ulquiorra, our first level 149 character. And by the way, this list is just Battlon.com and then the top Guardians or ex-Guardians. So immediately what I notice is no 250 stats. Is homie unaware that you can get to 250 now? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? They played inconsistently, but a lot throughout the years. So pretty OG character. Played a lot, played around. I actually saw this character earlier, but I had to cut the recording. But you can see that their weapons, pretty random. A lot of random GGB stuff, a lot of random weapons, Frostbell gift boxing. Armors are all pretty meta options for either mages or warriors, and Werepire armor. Makes sense. They don't run Necro, but probably a personal choice. Are they even a paladin? Yeah, they are. Shields, also pretty meta stuff. Frostveil reflexes and Lorien shield and Grinning Jack, you could argue a bit more niche, but they're fine. Spells are a little funky. Syrup Surge, it's just weird. Luminous Worm Strike, that's a weird one. Has like a weak blind or a weak daze, 50-50 chance. Uncontrollable, pretty weird one, but pets, I mean, pets are pretty arbitrary anyways. No Angra Linnorm, interestingly enough. Maybe they don't know it exists. Oh, no Essence of Carnage, now that I think about it. Interesting. Love Potion, Shadow Feeder, Urt, Essence Orb, Pixel Ether. Yeah. Seems pretty normal. Well, a little weird, but... So, nothing too crazy here. Ah, they have some paintings. Nice. Nothing too crazy about this account. Seems relatively meta, but a little bit funky as well. Let's check on the next one. Luna. 2016. That is a pretty new character. Okay. Necromancer, 250 int, so they do know about the stat cap. Vampire subrace, but they also have dexterity. Let's take a guess. Viewer guess. Do you think they have any ranged weapons, or are they just on the old stat system? Let's find out. Pretty old account. 2016, I see. War of the Fang. It's a while ago, I think. Wooden planks. Is that a Blades of Reaping? Academy Wand. Krieger Claw. Wooden plank. I don't think that's a magic weapon, but Arm of the Lich. What the hell is that? Star Slayer. Horde's Wrath. No way, dude. That's the wind armor that is outdated. Wind Earth compression armor. Demon Mancer, Academy Elegance, Umazen Emancipator armor. I think it's just a full FO light armor with like a 5% damage MC. Thunderbride, Trontosaurus Rex. So they've got... Let's take a look at their items. I mean, it's not like none of these are meta options. Like, some of them are okay. The Cleric's Arm, Nightbane Claw Staff, Fresh Asteraceae. I don't know how to say that. Asteraceae, I don't know. Beats me. Prismatic Iridescence. That's a light Daze spell on light spellcast, I think. Daze weapon on light spellcast. Let's see what their light spells are, but so no Paladin or Necromancer. Doesn't even seem to be in their inventory, but they do have some pretty meta. Oh, I mean, like, they have Star Slayer, which I guess has the choke skill. But then they also have, like, Imogen Emancipator. And they also have, like, Thunderbride and Tyrannosaurus Rex, which are, like, meta. Like, it's a funny mix. I don't know what to make of it. Hydroblaze Shield, that's a package item, if I'm not mistaken. $100 or something. No, like 25, 35. Taladosian Ward. I mean, there's not much for energy. No shame. Makalot, Sacred Datamir. I mean, I wouldn't, but Frostgale's Grace. There's not much for ice, but I wouldn't. Lunar Eclipse, Broken Mirror Defender. I mean, the shields are fine. They're not, like, good. No int drive, for example. On a mage build, no int drive. Also, no ranged weapons. Maybe, like, one wooden plank. I don't know. Is that a spear weapon? No int boost drives. There are, what, 3 now? So, no real reason not to. That's like my first clue. This person does not look at mini guides. No main stat drive shields. Synaptic Shock. Yikes. Respectfully. Summon Yukara Vox, summon Aquella, summon Ice Master Yeti, call Manabat. All of these are pretty scuffed options. I mean, like, they work, but like you're not following the meta with this option. Cyclone. I've never seen someone use this spell. I recommend it to everyone I speak to about Adventure Quest, but I've never seen someone actually use it. Very, very random spells, Splage. Yeah, they have some. Oh no, that's Polala. Never mind. Summon Infernal Skull. I think that's like the Fear Burn toggle. No, it's not. It's different actually. That's the. I'm thinking of like the little snail one, but. Yeah, definitely not like a meta spell page. You're looking at pets. I mean, all you need is Godmother, really. Undead Archer. Robocockatrice, Trueful. Trueful's a level 50 pet, if I'm not mistaken, so that's telling. Emo Jin, that's a water daze pet, if I'm not mistaken. Terrible, terrible pet. Frost Effigy is fine. Possessed Sword is fine. Blind or something? Can't remember exactly. They have Crag and Bamboozle in their inventory. That'll tell you something. Let's take a quick look. I mean, none of these are crazy, actually. None of these are, like, crazy weird. So, Pets is, like... I mean, Pets is definitely not meta. You're not looking at guides and picking out these pets. Crystal of Restless Shadows and Legendary Shadow Crystal 1 and 2. Telling of an old meta player, I think, in my humble opinion. Essence Orb Azame Egg. Homie has not heard about Tomes, apparently. No, I'm playing. I actually like that item, but most people use Azame Egg, you'd assume they are not up to date on the meta. Space Gauntlet seems to be the only gauntlet they have, which is a very good gauntlet. Love Potion. No Shadow Feeder Pendant, interestingly. No main stat boosting miscs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no int boost misc, so I'd say this character pretty under geared, under meta, outdated, you could say. Oh, okay. So here's the vault, and I'm starting to think there might be more to the story. Maybe this is an alt character, because look at all this stuff. Surely that's not one person's vault. Surely not. So maybe this is an alt account. You never know. But maybe. Okay, but looking at this on its own, they seem to not know that the stat revamp happened, so they're still having Dex on their mage. Don't know how they're power leveling. They don't. Do they even have the? I didn't see an auto hit weapon or spell, so they don't seem to be power leveling. No tier 3 armor. Very much detached from the meta on this character. Leox, let's see, 2008, pretty old. Kindred, alright, alright. Strength and luck. Almost maxed out, nice. Werewolf subrace. Clues would point to a relatively guide following. Yeah, okay. So I'm looking at Burden of Insight and Kindred and Perfectly Balanced Blade. Sacred Paladin Sword. Infrared Blade. Wonder what that does. Okay, Kindred, Bloodzerker, Winter Dryad, Asgardian. No H series. Maybe I was wrong. So I was thinking this is a pretty meta-aware account, but no H series on a pure warrior. That is curious. Am I missing it somewhere? Is it there? No, I don't see it. And no vault either, so this is a main account. No H series. But they do have Paladin. Is that their class? Yeah, it is. So they're using Asgardian's Lightning's power. That's so interesting. Okay, so maybe they haven't kept up to date on the meta, even though they have Burden of Insight, which is like a pretty modern... Well, it's not that old. It's not that new anymore, I guess. Let's look at the shields. Oh, Undead Terror and Cryo Chrono Shield. Interesting. Arthurian Shield. Asgardian's Lightning Eye. There's like no reason to use these shields. So I would wager that maybe they aren't as up to date on the meta as I thought from looking at their weapons. Huh. Chieftain's Ironthorn. They didn't grab the strength drive from Harvest Fest this year, so maybe they're not watching videos or reading Discord. Interesting, because they missed out on that dark strength drive. Or was it that light strength drive? Excuse me, I can't remember which is which. It was dark. It was dark. Let's look at the spells. Runic Binding, Guardian Angel Elder, that's an OG item. Rubzard, Void Dragon Assault, Wear Dragon Breath, Absolute Darkness, Callstar. I don't want to make a conclusion just from these spells. Could be like a free-to-play player. And just nothing too crazy up in there. But those are like normal warrior skill cast spells. One moment while I sneeze. Never mind, went away. Nerf Kitten, Fairy Godmother, Engerlinorm, Kerguinbo, Spotter Drake, Tankbot. See, this is confusing because Kerguinbo and like... this is confusing to me. I wonder how they're leveling. Really just using Kindred against Shadowgog or Shadowrock or something? I don't know. Curious. Swordmaster Emblem, okay. Pendant of the Gallant. What could people be running this MISC for? Accuracy? If so, have they kept up with any guides? Probably not. So I'd say MISCs and spells are pretty telling for not having kept up with, and shields. MISCs and shields would suggest that this person does not keep up with guides, is outdated on the meta. Shadow Feeder, sure. Mighty Twilight Meter, 16th Birthday Cake, been playing a while. Hollow Dragon Amulet. I guess that does fit instead of Bird of Osiris. Maybe I'm wrong. It's just the Pendant of the Gown that's throwing me off. Maybe they just didn't have anything else to run. But the shields I think are very telling that this person does not follow the meta too closely. And they have no vault, which means this is their main account. So I'd say we found another player who does not keep that up to date or hasn't bothered to update their gear. That's another thing. It could be possible that people do keep up to date on the meta, but just don't want to spend their gold on gear until they hit max level. Intellect, endurance, and luck. Okay. Swordmaster Evolution. That war was a long time ago. Let's see how old they are. 2004. Ooh, that's pretty old, Jester. Pretty old account. Okay, Loremaster Tome. But of course, Loremaster Tome. Celestial Man Staff, Eternity Key, Solar Fair Club, Cracked Skull Club. Magic, French Vanilla, Ice Katana. I think since it's not tokens, if it's not blue, it's not tokens. That could be the really old version of that weapon. Loremaster Tome would drive me to say they follow guides. Because like you're never going to find that weapon on your own randomly. It's in the bottom corner of the travel map. Offensive test armor, range. What am I supposed to make of this? No tier 3 armor. Knight class. Seem to have not trained Necromancer or Paladin. Obsidian Cloak. Oh, that could be from back in the day though. Huh. A bunch of Mastercraft set armors and offensive test armor would, to me, imply that this person has no idea about the current meta, the current state of the meta. If they're a mage player, let's actually see what their spells are. Do they have... No, they don't even have Sizzler Explosion. Do they? Is it somewhere down here? Okay, no Sizzler Explosion. I feel like if you don't have Sizzler Explosion or a auto-hit melee weapon in like Kindred or H-Series, you're just... That's like complete evidence that they're not up to date on the meta. Because like a leveling guide is just so necessary. Durey. Shields are pretty suspicious, but they do have Shadow of Doubt and Guardian Luminous Shield. Are they killing Shadow Rock? Did I miss their spells maybe? With Gravity Crush maybe? I don't know. Maybe. It's not impossible. Interesting. Take a look at their miscs. Everfrozen Shard, Urn of Tarion Good, Head of the Radius Dragon. That's an old style player, presumably. These miscs used to be quite good. Blood Orb. Blood Orb and no Essence Orb. Is there no Essence Orb? Do they not have one? Ah, they do have it. Okay. But it's all the way down here. Interesting. Very interesting. Polala. Let me close this thing. The pets are a mess. Would presume, again, not following the meta for whatever reason. They've got some generic spells of various elements. Is Downwell? I don't know what Downwell is. I think it's a water spell. Could be wrong. Huh. Interesting. So they have Shadow of Doubt and Guardian Luminous Shield, but they do not have an auto-hit magic effect. So they could be killing Shadow Rock, but they're not doing it efficiently. So I'd say outdated on guides. No Paladin training, no Necro training. But they do have a lot of custom faces. Interesting. I'd be surprised. Let's see the shared vault. Vault 69. Okay, that's all right. Let's see. Oh, they have. What to make of this? What to make of this? Interesting. I don't know what to make of this. I'm a bit lost. I would say not having a tier 3 trained and having a bunch of Mastercraft set armors in your inventory and having Magic French Vanilla Ice Katana, Cracked Skull Club, Eternity Key, I'd say having those is pretty showing of not being up to date on the meta, and this seems to be their main account because they've played since like 2007 or whatever. So I'd say, again, not someone who's keeping up to date following the meta. Okay, here we go. Paladin player, strength, endurance, charisma. Okay. Okay, look at these items. Look at these weapons. Horror Show, Bloodzerker, Paladin Axe, Dark Blade of Victory, Bloodzerker, Frostveil Mercenary, Bloodzerker, Jack Claws. No H-Series. No H-Series. Interesting. Okay, relatively meta shields. Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't run all of them, but these are all, like, fine shields in the modern day. Radiant Might, I think that is the 6-hit light melee skill from the Warrior Tower. Could be wrong. Interesting. Don't know what to make of these spells, because look at these two. Don't really know what to make of that, but okay. A lot of Frostveil gift box and items and spells and pets, and a couple in the shields and armors and weapons. Loaded dice. Yeah, a ton of Frostveil gift box and items. Interesting. Okay. I mean, looking at Greater Water Orb, Insightful Twilight Mirror, and Simretsi, Oni Mask, Loaded Dice. Like, you're not using those items most of the time. So I'd say not following the meta. I'd say this seems to be their main account because they've been playing since Dracula Cube P, 2005, by the way. View contents, the shared vault, Pixel Blade. Yeah, okay, so this isn't the shared vault of like someone with a bunch of alts. This is just a shared vault full of 3 items of each kind. So I'd say this person doesn't follow the meta anymore. Maybe they played a lot like when Bloodsuckers started going on and then they got used to that. But they don't have H series, which is a huge tell that maybe they're not that up to date. They're not using Santa Avenger, for example. I mean Kringle Armor, excuse me. Santa Avenger equals Kringle Armor. So I'd say again we found someone who doesn't really keep up to date with the meta, hasn't really kept up too much, perhaps. Okay, Paladin. What the hell is that thing? Wet Eye? I think that's Wet Eye. That's a common GGB water pet. Weapons. Darkseeker's sidekick. Interesting. Weapons are a bunch of, yeah, look at all this. Look at all these random GGB weapons. Lore Master's Tome, but of course. So we watched a guide at some point. Bloodsucker, Holy Armor, Bloodsucker, Shinyaro, Budget Bloodsucker, H series. Shields are fine. I mean, Gaia Shield placeholder, probably. Pets are cheap, fine. Is that the Asgardian set pet? I think it is. These are a bunch of melee spell skills. Metamorphosed Water of Immortality. I'd say this person follows guides. I'd say it would be a strong likelihood this person follows guides. Misks are a little weird. It feels gift. But basically they used a bunch of common GGB items as gap fillers, like 13th Mask, Kitsune Mask, Arthurian Shields, Hexbound Photosphere, Cerberus. Oh, that's Cerberus, not Cerberus Ward. I thought that was a Cerberus GGB shield, which it might be. I can't tell. Because I think the Fire Dart Compression one is Cerberus Ward, but not sure. Chili Form. Look at all these GGB weapons. So I would say meta-ish player watches guides, has 1.2 million gold, just waiting to hit level 150 and buy more meta items. That would be my guess. So this person seems to be up to date following guides. Let's do a couple more on the top of the list and we'll go to the bottom with some of the lower levels. Ooh, take a look at this guy. Again, seems to be unaware that the stat cap went up to 150. Maybe unaware you don't need dex anymore. Dragon Slayer class. Interesting. How interesting. Let's see how they're leveling. Horseshow, Abyss Blade. I don't see any auto hit weapons in here. What the hell is a rune staff? Alright, they're Tribrid. They might have any number of funky spells. Okay, so they have all of the OG Uber armors except Nemesis. Maybe they didn't know Nemesis got revamped. Tsunami Plate and Cyclone Plate. Interesting. What is a situation where someone would buy these on... I can't think of a reason someone would buy these instead of like a sub race. What's their class? No sub race. Huh. Okay. Same over here. I mean, maybe just gap fillers. Look at these pets. Kinda ass. Kinda. I mean, this is just a gap filler though. I use this in Yulger only videos. Jock's Guardian Fury. This is another Chessmaster Saga spell. I think it's 2 hits. It's like Earth, Dark Water, Random Element, or like Compression Element or something. Interesting. Ice Beast Attack. Similarly bad ice spell, but it's fine. Archmage Research, Lost Tech Oversoul cards. This, to me, this whole inventory screams Mana Trap. Is that the OG one? No. But to me, this whole inventory screams out of date and uninformed, which is fine, again. But this, I would be very surprised if this character is not a character who is completely out of touch with like modern day AQ and like the modern discords and whatnot. So I would say this is someone who like does not interact with the community publicly. Let's do one more because they have assassin. I want to see, or 2 more. I want to see assassin and beastmaster classes. And again, I didn't see any gear with the ability to power level. on that character either, so they must be power leveling some other way, if they're power leveling at all. No vault, no house. Oh, what? No vault, no house, how are they even leveling? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I just paused and unpaused the recording, so I forget what I was saying, but seems to be unaware the stat cap is 250. No house, no shared vault. Werepire, assassin. Let's see if they even have any of the Werepire armors. Wow. Wow, what am I looking at here? Straight out of 2014. Kingdom Breaker, Clockwork Scythe, Wicked King's Wrath. Oh, that's a little later, but Taxing Cutlass, Starsaber of Passion, Communicant, Shamrock Power Armor, Nulgath, Wicked King Plate, Devilish Black Guy Costume. That's not even full element protection, I don't think. I don't think it is, no. Doll form, by the way, that's crazy. Crazy to see. Yeah, look at these shields. Heritage Memorial Shield. I didn't know that was rare. Could have fooled me. Resilient Arm Floaty. I'm so curious, but I don't have time to look all these funky items up. Spells are scuffed, but fine. Like random. Random enough you'd say they don't know the meta. Olive Class Drone. I have to know what that is. Hold on. Pausing for a minute. Okay, it's the 2013 gift box and pet. Interesting. But yeah, you can 100% tell this person no idea what people are doing. Probably doesn't watch any YouTube videos. No class armors to speak of. Just having a good time, and good for them. Let's check out this Beastmaster title player, and then we'll move on to the lower level players. Strength Dex. Do they know about stat decoupling? Who knows? Who can say? Igniting Liquefactor, Mallet of Voltage. I don't see any. I think Aegir's Fortune is maybe a ranged weapon. If that's what I'm thinking of, it's the Wind Mastercraft set weapon. So that's a ranged weapon. So maybe they kind of know they don't need Dex and Strength, but either way, not a very meta setup. Strength Dex Warrior. 1, 2, 3. Not even 7 armors. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. No house, no vault. How have they been leveling this whole time? Beats me. They don't even have an armor with a skill. They do have Horror Show. That's crazy, though. Jesus. Shields are telling. Shields are telling. I mean, Bloodfang and Moonfang are fine, but, you know, none of these are like, look at the shield. You can just see it. None of them are special. Their inventory is filled with the 8 elemental warrior spells from the warrior tower. Random ass pets. Garganot Helm. Okay, so they've watched some guides. Asen's Orb. Again with Pendant of the Gallon. Every player has this misc. I wonder why. I wonder what it is. Sight Beyond Sight. Interesting. So they do seem to be using dexterity on purpose. Sight Beyond Sight is niche, but it's pretty much just a misc that gives dexterity, charisma, and I think endurance or luck. I think it's endurance. Or maybe they just played through a bunch of the Devourer saga. Could be either one. Either way, most assuredly not up to date on the meta, probably doesn't watch guides, or doesn't care. And I hope they're having fun. Alright, so let's go to the lower level ones. This is a lot of people, by the way. These can't all be alt accounts. Like, they can't all be alts, especially when none of them have power leveling gear. Connor. Hey Connor, how's it going? 2011. Again, unaware of this 200 stat cap. So like 6 of these people I've looked at don't know about the 250 stat cap change. So that's crazy, by the way. Blade of Janus, Holiday Colossus. What the hell are these? Moglord Scepter. Custom Staff. Wow. Zombie Master Axe. Jeepers. Creepers. Totally outdated armor setup. All MC sets and gift box in. Look at that. Whispering Raiment for the initiative. Little does he know. Little do they know. H series is right there. And to be clear, I'm not shaming people for having these off meta stuff. I just think it's interesting to see that they're completely detached from the modern meta. Iron Buckler, what even is that? Hold on, pausing to research. Apparently it's just an Earth Shield. Who knew? Champions of Lore. That's crazy. How old is that spell, dude? Wow. But yeah, definitely some outdated spells, some random pets. Random Miss Shield Generator. Oh, no way. I want that. Valkyrie Helm, no idea what that does. Morning Star Insignia. Blood Orb. Excuse my cough. Yeah, 100% this person is detached from the meta. No info past 2012. So, interesting. Interesting, we see so many of these people who are not making contact with the modern community. Ah, okay. Dragon Slayer, but Werepire. Let's take a look. How old are they? 2019. Oh, interesting. So they can't be that outdated. Infrared Blade. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look that up real quick in a minute here. Pretty meta armor set up to like 2020, but they have Thunderbolt Cavalry instead of H series, so not that. Up to the Explorer's outfit. Is that the Scholar class armor? Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna look up Infrared Blade and Explorer's outfit. Okay, so I was right. It is the Scholar class outfit, and then Infrared Blade is just Infrared Blade and Blade of Janus and Star Saber of Pacifism, I think. These are just common GGB weapons. So maybe they ran out of gold and just wanted some cheap weapons, which is fine. Balgir's Omen, Excelsior Elixir, and Intellect Scroll. Never have I ever seen a stranger arrangement. But yeah, 4 shields at level 125. You cannot be managing your damage intake like that, my friend. 3 misc items? That's crazy, dog. Oh, shared vault though. Okay, so yeah, this is still their main account. They just have a shared vault. Probably. Yeah, super outdated, super out of touch with the meta, which is fine. But again, another player who completely ignored the, the modern community. Manstaff, Golden Axe, Punisher, Forgotten Totem, Emperor's Weapon, Urukiri, Spyhander. Okay, this seems pretty meta. Yeah, Geomancer's Robe, Scissor Explosion. Shields are a little funky, but they're still power leveling. Yeah, Destruction Diamond, Destruction Burst, Scissor Explosion. Yeah, this is pretty much, they're following a leveling guide. They probably know mostly what they're doing. Although their armors are a bit weird, but they have Myrmidon Champion. You're never going to navigate to that. If you weren't playing when it came out, you're never going to navigate to that shop without assistance. It's in like the middle of Balu's maze of shops. Yeah, so definitely following guides, definitely up to date on the meta, although they are a hybrid. Interesting. Wouldn't be my recommendation, but to each their own. But this is a player who 100% follows the meta without a doubt. Which is actually the first one of those players we've seen, interestingly enough. First out of like 15 or so. Marie. Strength decks. They have 205 strength, so they know the stat cap isn't 200. But how long have they known that? To be sure. Fey Wanderer. This would presume they might be a bit more meta inclined, but 2006. Let's take a look. Some of these are common GGBs. Okay, they got a lot of stuff. A little bit hard to go. Oh, Hand of Terra Soul. Jesus. $100 package. Jack Claws. No H series. Interesting. So I was going to say they're up to date because they have Fey Wanderer, and that's like a super meta pet. But no H series is kind of like my marker for have they, like, watched any videos on Warriors. Shields are suspicious as well. Suspicious in terms of not following any no stat drive shields. Nothing too meta. Do they have a house? Yeah, they have a house. But they don't seem to have any auto hit. Oh, Exalted Unity is auto hit. So they could be farming. They could be farming Shadow Rock. Hall of Feathers. That's like a underleveled spell if I remember correctly. Maybe it goes close to max. Maybe it does. Chupacabra, Guardian Angel, Firebat Swarm. Pretty off meta. The pets are fine. Mostly fine. Chibi Loco. I mean, who wants... Dude, let a homie have fun. I shouldn't judge for Chibi Loco. Misks. They have a stat drive. They have some odd stuff. They have Garganot Helm. They have Astromorph, which means at one point they were part of the bug abuse community. Shout out to my homies. That still has a... Actually, I'm not going to talk about Astromorph until my Nightbane video is finished. Anyways. Most, I would say, not up to date with the meta because they don't have H-Series. Maybe they couldn't beat the H-Series quest. I don't know. But I would say probably not. Also Strength Dex, so... They don't know about the stat revamp. Yeah, Strength Dex for no reason, because these are all melee. All but all of them, I think. Maybe one or two are ranged, but yeah, Marie, definitely out of date. Jace. Oh, excuse me. End of Legions. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Shared vaults, let's check. Okay, so not that much. So this is probably their main account. Yeah, look at the war records. Definitely their main account. Well, I say definitely, but what I mean is most likely. 2007. Bloodblade, 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 Solar Flare, Wicked King's Wrath. Meta-ish, but like bland meta, not like looking for combos meta. Doesn't seem to be any auto hit in their inventory, except for Perfectly Balanced Blade. And the reason I don't know if I've stated it outright, but you need auto hit to farm Shadow Rock effectively. So if they don't have auto hit, they're probably not farming Shadow Rock. So they're probably not following the wiki or any YouTube video ever. Holy Armor, but no Paladin. They do have the Vampire class armors. Interesting. And they have Obsidian Cloak. Very interesting. Very interesting. What about these shields? Ferrignius, Notice. I think that's the Wind set. Wind Mastercraft set, but lower level. What do you need a Dex Drive shield for? Oh, they are Tribrid, right? Or Hybrid. So Int and Dex implies they don't know that those two were decoupled for accuracy. Interesting. Diversity Defender. Very nice. Very stylish. I approve. No real reason for anyone to use those until you're... Yeah, no real reason. Virus Desolation or Oversoul cards. I mean, you can use them, but like you'd have to have a specific reason, which I assume this person does not. Pet is trash. The Wind Mastercraft set pet. Steam Trouble's fine. I mean, most of this is fine, but like, it's not someone who's like picking good pets. Kishish Keen, it's not 2007 anymore. A lot of defensive miscs in here. They do have an int drive, so yeah, I'd say definitely out of date on the meta. Partly because they have no auto hit, partly because they're still running decks, partly because they haven't started using tier 3 as their title class. Yeah, but definitely out of date on the meta would be my assessment of this character. Let's look at two more. How long is this recording gone? Oh, 40 minutes? Let's look at one more. Inference. Surely this person is meta if they have Paladin. Alright, 2011 Guardian. I'd say surely they're not meta because they're strength decks. Strength decks, luck 200. Don't seem to know that the stat cap was adjusted. So again, living in the dark ages, which is fine if they're having fun. Agony's Embrace, old meta. Monolith, I mean, these are fine items, but you'd think they'd have, actually, I mean, they're fine. Okay, Old Void of Noigath, that's suspicious. Haunted Dragon Lord, that's fine because some people can't beat Entropy, because Entropy is a hard boss if you don't follow a guide. Jack Claws instead of H series is my big tell, honestly, because as a warrior, if you don't have H series, it's just a crutch. Like, you're just not crutching on H series. So presumably they haven't watched a warrior video, warrior guide, read the wiki. Shields are suspect at best. No, actually mostly okay. They're acceptable. They're not great. Definitely not a meta shield layout. Yeah, if you're seeing Salad Shooter in a level 125's inventory and you're not thinking that maybe they're a little behind on the meta, I don't know what to tell you. But yes, the pets. Oh, these are all golden gift box and not really too much to analyze. Tank bot. Why do people buy this pet? Interesting. Rare golden gift box, but it gives Earth defense loss. Wonder why people are buying that. Polygalactose process. Interesting. Why would you buy this? Of all the other miscs in the game. It's a good misc, but it's just random. Seems pretty normal. Normal for Scuffed Warrior without Essence Sword. Oh, they have Essence Sword, but don't use it. Interesting. Interesting. I guess they don't have much to use it with. Haunted Dragon Lord, Horror Show. Headless Horseman. But that skill and Jack Claws are so cheap that you don't really need to use Essence Orb for them. Interesting. So again, not a meta player. So let's see how many I looked at here. I went up to Inference. So what, like 5, 6 at the bottom? And then I went down to, I think, Sheogorath. So 8 at the top. So I looked at like 15 accounts. And only one of them was following the meta power leveling. And like 4 of them didn't know that the stat cap was adjusted to 250. At least 4 of them still had dex, assuming it was needed for accuracy, presumably. And of course, my analysis is not like 100%. I don't know what's going through these players' heads. I'm just making guesses off their items and stats. But I would say that 7 out of 8 of these players are not trying to power level. So they presumably haven't seen the wiki. 7 out of 8 of these players are not caught up with the meta. So they presumably aren't watching Korriban's videos, my videos, anyone's videos, looking at the wiki. Yeah, so that's just interesting. Interesting to see that of all those players I looked, or it's not 7 out of 8, sorry, it's like 11 out of 12. 5 or 6 down here, 7 or 8 up there. Yeah, like 12 out of 13, 14 out of 15. So a ton of players just are completely in the dark from the community. And aren't publicly sharing their stuff. I find that very interesting because I really thought that most of the gaming community for AQ would be in the Discords, but a lot of them must not be, because they would not have these character pages if they were. So yeah, interesting. Let me know what you guys think. These were all X-Guardians, I think, or these were all Guardians. I might do the X-Guardians later and see. Oh, martial artist, man, what could you be doing? Madness Master. I might make another video looking at the X-Guardians and just scrolling through, or I could look at the Guardians 3 weeks from now and they'll be different. But I just thought this was very interesting to see how out of date people's accounts are and how casual players play the game completely differently than I might or you might. So yeah, let me know what you think. Spread some peace and love. And of course, I really want to emphasize again, I'm not judging people for playing the game a different way. I'm excited and intrigued and confused by how many players are not up to date on the meta and seem to be absent from the community. I'll see you all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.